Greetings, Dr. Will here. Welcome back to the serialization of What You Don't Know, Successfully Lead a Software Project Without Tech Expertise. Episode 21, Chapter 9, The Foundation of Development, Processes that Sustain the Work, Part 1.
The process-oriented or continual activities are needed to manage and maintain the software development process to build a correctly functioning, sustainable software system. A software system is a result of an engineering process. Even if the process is ad hoc, it is still a process. If the people working on the software as a part of the development team are to work together more or less efficiently and effectively, then the work must be partitioned. That means there is coverage, everything gets done, with no overlaps, the same thing being done by different people. More than one person can work on the same component, but they need to be doing different things on that component. It is wishful thinking to imagine that an effective partitioning will just happen with no planning and no common understanding of the roles and responsibilities of the team members involved in the process. Software is a team sport, many different people in many different roles working to achieve a common goal. Even if it is a lone developer, the developer will not recognize their own code 6 months from now, so the present developer needs to communicate with current leadership, management, as well as their own future self. New team members may also be added to the team, making communication much more important. Leadership is highly focused on maintaining team cohesion and concentrating on the common goal. The first responsibility is ensuring the leader's vision is communicated and accepted by the team, getting buy-in. The leader must execute on the vision or the team won't. Quote from Peter Drucker, quote, "Successful leaders are not necessarily the ones with the greatest vision or the most winning personality. They are the ones who actually do what they say they're going to do and execute on their goals. This is why people trust good leaders and follow them willingly. Management is doing things right. Leadership is doing the right things." Close quote. The vision of any product-driven enterprise is to deliver a high-quality product to a consumer and ensure the consumer is delighted by the product, the delivery, and the service. In the long run, an unsupportable system will ultimately disappoint a customer, and the stickier the product, the less happy the customer will be. For example, a crappy ERP system is so expensive to transition off of that the customer will suffer under a bad system for years before finally throwing in the towel. After adopting at great expense a new system, the former system will be enthusiastically loathed. What disciplines are needed to ensure that the highest possible quality system is delivered and that it is responsive to the needs of the customer and is relatively inexpensive to maintain and sustain? Quality assurance. Quality assurance is far more than testing, but I repeat myself. According to the IEEE, software quality assurance is, quote, "a planned and systematic pattern of all actions necessary to provide adequate confidence that the item or product conforms to established technical requirements," close quote. A development organization that focuses its quality assurance activities solely on software testing will miss all of the high-leveraged quality processes that avoid errors in the first place. Avoiding errors is far more cost-effective than injecting errors into the code, finding them in testing, correcting them, and then retesting to ensure that all the injected errors have been eliminated. Quality is free, but it requires an investment. It is free in the sense that the return on investment, ROI, is greater than the investment. So it is not only free, but also profitable. The profitability of quality might come from increased revenue. Premiums are charged for brands perceived to be of higher quality. In software, the profitability of quality mostly comes from reduced long-term costs during maintenance. The oddity about software is that everybody expects the software they use to be flawless, but nobody is surprised when it isn't. If the software works poorly, then users will look for alternatives. If it works badly enough, then people will not only abandon the product, but also trash it on social media. Early adopters of new SaaS products are expected to tolerate defective software. The privilege of being first, and at a low introductory price, is contingent on that tolerance. Early adopters are also expected to be beta testers of the system, providing valuable feedback on the product. But even early adopters have their limits. Feature requests and reported defects are expected to be addressed. If addressing them takes too long, grumbling will ensue. Software quality factors are those characteristics on which the software product will be judged. There are 3 categories of characteristics: operations, revision, and transition. The customer end user directly experiences product operations. Operations are assessed on their correctness, reliability, efficiency, integrity, and usability. The other two categories are cost drivers for the product owner. Revision is concerned with how easy or difficult it is to revise the product and is measured on the product's maintainability, flexibility, and testability. Transition focuses on the deployment of the product and is measured by its portability, reusability, and interoperability. Verification, validation, and qualification. Three aspects of software quality assurance are relevant for any artifact produced during development: verification, validation, and qualification. Verification checks that the artifacts produced in one development phase are consistent with those made in earlier stages. It answers the question, are we building the product right? Validation examines the extent of compliance with the customer's or end user's requirements. It answers the question, are we building the right product? Qualification focuses on operational issues, chiefly maintainability, and answers the question, can we support the product? Because there are errors everywhere in the development process, verification, validation, and qualification activities extend throughout the life cycle. They ensure that the software is being produced correctly and meets the short and long-term needs of the customer and end user. They also apply to the conformance to the established standards for the software development process activities, including their own. They set and enforce policies on configuration management, quality assurance, testing and reviews, and metrics and data collection. Configuration management. Configuration management is the set of all tracking and control activities applied to the artifacts of the system that begin with the beginning of the project and continue until the system is removed from service. Also known as change control, configuration management activity identifies changes, controls them, ensures they are correctly implemented, and reports them to interested parties. A configuration consists of all the items that comprise all the information produced as part of the software development process. Formally, the items that are controlled by the process are known as software configuration items. Software is an engineered product whose replication requires no manufacturing. Creating a copy is trivial and instantaneous. The engineering artifacts are the materials used to engineer the software solution. A manufacturer manages and controls its inventory to produce high-quality products reliably. Many development organizations effectively track and control source code changes using source code control tools, for example, Git. Organizations may be less effective at producing and controlling the baseline set of necessary artifacts that should accompany that source code. A set that includes the requirements, essential design documents, configuration information, training, support, and test assets. Effective configuration management is a sine qua non of effective development of sustainable software systems.
That ends Chapter 9, The Foundation of Development, Processes that Sustain the Work, Part 1. Join us next time for Episode 22, Part 2 of Chapter 9. That's it for me, for you for now. Be careful out there. Bye.